Eno Extreme Media UJ. Subscribe for all updates.
It's my pleasure to be part of this gathering. However much it came at a shorter notice, but I couldn't hesitate, despite the fact that the work done by this institution, Uganda Law Society, it's the reason why now I'm outside behind the bars and even given back my freedom. I will not go back to introduce myself because has already made it clear. Other than saying one more name which is remaining and makes people get scared, I have my tagline name which is called the Jembe Lyakuno. When I stood out to defend the voices of the voiceless, I fear none. In Uganda, where we all demand for rights and even freedom of speech, it's where I follow much. I am a journalist. I served this country for almost 20 years. I started my journey in 2006 when I joined the CBS. The word investigative journalism was totally like a curse in our country. And we were only listening to people like Andrew Mwenda, the likes of Charles Onyango Bo, who used to do the kind of work I'm doing today. Little did I know that at a certain point I will also be those who are not liked in the society and even living a lonely life where you become the most hated person for speaking the truth. I will give a scenario. There is a certain time when I was covering a story and I tried to confront a certain general. I told him that, you know, even those people who are incarcerated, they also need their rights. The gentleman boldly told me that, you know, everyone has a right like a fish in the lake, but it's only the person who takes it out has a right and the right time to take it out. So in Uganda, we have a constitution and everything is available. Based on the previous speaker, he talked about the issue of pre-bargain, where I fall a victim. I accepted pre-bargain not because that I committed those offenses, but spending 6 months in prison without having a fair trial, I was just facing persecution, not prosecution. To the extent that there was a time when prosecutors from the other side saying that, okay, let's first go and consult our boss whether he's now okay or he has reduced his anger against the accused person who was me in the dock by then. I was prosecuted in the court which I was not supposed to be prosecuted in, because the standard utility court is for those who are hunters, for NFA, Umeme. But imagine a journalist like me who has covered a story of where a person took 11.7 billion in a contract to construct a road, and he didn't do anything. He just moved away with the money, buy his own properties. When I covered that story and I'd wanted to get a fair trial from his side, the gentleman sent me his colleagues, who were my uncles, some of them, and were offering me 50 million. I refused to take the money. What next? He doubled the money to make it 150. and send a colleague of mine again. I refused to take the money. When I refused to take the money for the second time, he turned around. And I just hear guys calling me that we have a complaint here where you need to come and present yourself. And the same person who was claiming that I've defamed him is the same person who has also taken a case to court. And I asked them now, where should I present myself? Because they are calling me to court, is sending me people to give me bribe, and you're also calling me to attend your hearings. I put it in writing with my legal team, but what the guys did, I just found myself one day, they raided our offices, come with 65 army men in full combat of military, and confiscate all our equipment, which was worth 400 million. Because ever since I retired from the mainstream, I decided, and I'm among the founders of the digital media in Uganda. Far back in 2017, when everyone was not even aware that we can practice our professions via the digital line. After confiscating all our equipment, again they said that we need to have a dialogue. We went in that meeting, but it was not a dialogue. Just to sit here like a speaker, listening to what is coming from the other side, but not giving your side. And after that, a week after, early in the morning, 7:30, another raid at my office. Come with burglars, what? They break into my office and took me. Not even making a statement. They have already aligned their courts. By the time I reached to court Machinde, they told me that I have no right to seek for a bail, but I'm supposed to be remanded to Luzira until further notice. Imagine, you have not committed any crime, but just speaking the truth. That's when I came to know that even refusing a bribe in Uganda, it's an offense. It has made me to spend 6 months in prison. If it wasn't Uganda Law Society, because I had a legal team, they presented me for the first 1 month and the second one. And they started dropping by numbers, one by one, saying, issues are done in Pamvu. We don't think that is going to come out now. Until when President Semakade sent a gentleman whom I can't recall the name right now, seeking for my permission to represent me in my case. I think it was Mr. Allen. He accepted, and the person who directed them to come to me is now also behind the bars, Council Mabilizi Mare. Then we reach a point that even the magistrate was saying that nobody can win a case in my presence. And the only alternative which I was supposed to take so that I can get back my freedom was to accept a plea bargain. What is happening in Luzira? It's just a total mess. There are so many inmates down there who even doesn't know when they will appear to court. And even the OC is not even bothered to consult judiciary as to why these people are rotting in prison. If we add on even the issue of ignorance within our society, it has also caused a lot of issues. To the extent that during my time in Luzira Maction Bay, I took initiative to investigate the prison itself, because I found myself that I couldn't go out as I was thinking, but the only option is to continue practicing my role, even if I'm jailed in. By the time I was in Luzira, I found out that you people, you're busy complaining about the backlog and even people not being presented in 2 courts of law, but you forget to address the issue of the birth control program, which is facilitated by certain projects, and they decided to work with police, prisons, and judiciary so that they can achieve their goal. For example, in Luzira Maxoni Bay, we are over 3,000 inmates. Me, I've spent 6 months there. If I was out in 6 months, I think I could have given birth or impregnated any woman. But imagine, the entire prison is holding over 70,000 inmates who are rotting down there, but facilitated with an agenda of keeping them there so that they can control the birth programs which are going on. This is an hidden agenda taking place, and nobody is even bothered about it, because they failed to convince the society with family planning and other issues. So they decided to facilitate. And there is a time when even the OCs are calling the DPCs from the police stations, please, it's now high time to send us. We need to go. It's a rainy season like now. They have to send in people so that they can go to farms and dig and support them. And at the time when you guys realize that, it will be too late. Because these people, they need money better than defending our rights. It's a racket working together. We talked about the issue of pre-bargain. There is no pre-bargain. It's just forcing you to sign the documents so that for them they can make their maxes. Because any magistrate or a judicial officer, when they convict you, for them they gain maxes. I went through a lot. To the extent there is a point when they even forced me to get out of prison to bring me and attend a meeting where I'm forced to sign the documents so that I can get back my freedom. Guys, Uganda is not safe. And no one is safe. Imagine I was in prison. Guys were busy writing on social media via my accounts that I'm apologizing, and I was wondering, did I apologize via dreams or what? And by the time I moved out, all my accounts were hacked in, and the society was busy convicting me completely. The reason why I'm still keeping quiet, they say that I operate without having a license. By the time they took me to prison, I had already paid the license in 2024, and they refused to give me the license because of the nature of the work I'm doing. And as I speak today, I've already applied for a second license. They refuse to give it to me. So you live in a society where they curtail your rights, and they don't want you to continue practicing your profession, and again they are claiming that they are protecting the country. Now I fail to understand who is right and who is wrong. Because as I speak, I have even the receipt here. I paid my money for the second time. After having that getting information that some of them wanted to give away my name of TV10 to another people. They called me for a fair hearing again. I attended. And the people they paraded there, after finding out that they can't take away my name, I've already registered it with URSB. The gentleman told them, okay, give them another license. And that has happened within 2 to 3 days. But now it's coming to a month and a half. I haven't received my license. When I resume operating, again courts will come and say that I'm operating without a license. So we are in a society where people think that giving you what you're supposed to take, it's just their mercy. People hold government offices and turn them into their personal ventures. We can't claim freedom of speech or fair hearing, like as the theme is saying, when people are working under fear. Because we may reach a point where some of the colleagues within the judiciary telling me that, you know, man, even if you apply for bail, you will not get it. Before being presented to court, we receive calls every morning telling us that we should not give you a bail. So you only have one option: accept a plea bargain. And I had no reason, I had no any other alternative other than taking a plea bargain and regain back my freedom. My coming here is just to say, I would like to thank the Uganda Law Society, Council Robert Jurua, Council Kamkama, and much more so, President Isaac Semakade. I will not forget to thank the first legal team which presented me, Sama Hamia, and even Kaganza and Company Advocates. They did their part, but they were, the guys overpowered them. But Uganda Law Society stood with me until the last minute. If we have such organizations within our country, I think we can achieve our rights. But if we don't have such, and if they are not funded well, they will also reach a point where they will not be able to stand with us. I will not have much to say, but my humble request, let's work together. This country needs us better than those who are in power. We are the future, and we are the present. We can't live in a society of fear. These people, they also fear us. But just because that we are still ignorant, or we are not yet ready for what we're supposed to do. My name is Dean Lubowa Saava, Sarongo. I came here on behalf of TV10 Ngano Mazima. I send my greetings to each and everybody who attends this session. Let's keep hand in hand to protect our country. If we don't fight corruption, we can't achieve anything we want in the country. Thank you.
Ejembe lyakuno is the name that he said. I forgot. We would like to thank you so much, especially for your attitude presentation of your actual experience in the courts of judicature that took you from your workplace, the trade that brings food on the table, helps you look after your family, to the courts of law, to the prisons, which of course has given us a route to appreciate aspects of a fair hearing and whether or not we are actually living the life that we had anticipated in as far as the aspects of justice and fair hearing are concerned. We are left to ask questions as to the extent of the right to a fair hearing being lived in reality rather than a constitutional promise, because it is offered and provided for in the Constitution. We are asking questions of what is the ethical duty of a lawyer when the law appears to serve injustice.
Abalungi abatuuliriza era abatulaba olunaku olwaleero tuchaddeko ewa Sheikh Asiraf Dembe.
Sebo sanyusa okubalaba amannya agange Seeka Asiraf Dembe akola ku bizibu by'enjawulo. Omuntu singa aba alina ebirwadde musomereddwa tunywa amazzi ga lukuya nga bw'obadde ogalaba, tugenda abantu ku kyoto ne twokya emizimu emibi egibabaamu n'okulomba edduwa. Abantu singa abeera ng'ali wano atuuse sobola okumulombera edduwa, ne waba atatuuse nga mpadde amannya ge naye ng'ali wala. Neetaase enamba yange yeeno eri 0701763711. Nammwe bannyinaffe abali ebweru oyagala okuba nti oyagala okulombera ku dduwa ng'olina ebizibu, viza zibuze, amaka gakolongotana, sente zikola zimpita mu ngalo, ojja kumpeereza ekifaananyi kyo n'amannya go, ebyo byokka bijja kummala, nja kukulombera edduwa, ojja kutereera. Olunaku olusembayo mu mwezi mba n'edduwa ey'awamu ffenna n'abalwadde bange abakadde n'abapya. Salaamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.